Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to jump in and have a little video about some things I've been covering in the background of my world. I've actually been diving into alchemy and the four elements because I realize that it ties into all of the things in our existence. And so I'll be reaching out to Rex Bear. I actually just sent the email a little while ago in regards to a presentation that I would like to give to the world, pretty much, to as many people as possible in regards to the nature of our reality and how it ties into the alchemy of the four elements and the tetragrammaton, and how this, that all the star forts around the world are actually geomancy. So our entire world, as we are starting to find out, is crystalline in nature. And this crystal grid that we call tetragrammaton is composed of many multiples of star tetrahedron shapes that interlock via the four elements, basically, and that it can shift and alter by the will of our thoughts. So I'm going to be giving that presentation. It basically ties us into magic practice and our thoughts and the construct of our reality. So, and of course, it was never magic. It was said to be magic to scare people from themselves, because the church or kirk came about and killed people for their knowledge, basically. And, it was heresy if you didn't follow what they had to say in their teachings. And so they went around obviously destroying our world and the beautiful world that we had before now. And it encompassed these things like geomancy of the four elements. And most of these star forts are surrounded by water, which, as we already know from Dr. Masaru Emoto's work, that this water can create beautiful frequencies based on our intentions, and that these negative thoughts can actually affect our entire environment. So it leads us to ask the question, what are we creating in this moment? Are we creating a beautiful, balanced world, or are we helping to co-create the negative world that the antithesis of light wants us to manifest through our thoughts and emotions? And there's so much out here that's influencing the minds of the masses through Hollywood and, the music industry, what's on the news, what people say, what people do. Everyone is still driven by the forces of darkness that was put into place so that we could actually see how bright our light can be. So everything has a divine purpose. That's what we're all being pushed to see at this moment. That's the entire world. So people are going to find hardship when they cannot see what's right in front of them and are all around them. And that's the truth of what nature provides us. Nature provides us with everything, all the tools of creation to know ourselves fully and to comprehend our world, but we completely put ourselves separate from nature. And that was by the design or construct that precipitated after the fall of the Egyptian empires, which was, the pharaohs were the ones who basically began becoming greedy, in their quest for more knowledge and power and control. They actually started delving into what we know as black magic. And this is something that, you can discover on your own if you just start studying the principles of the yin and yang. The yin and the yang are absolutely part of our world, and we cannot escape this principle. If we just take the time to learn these two basic principles, which are the polar opposites of each other, then we can begin to break down everything in our world and to know that you cannot have one greater than another, and that one is going to be pushing while the other one is pulling. This is the ebb and flow of the waves in the ocean. They are not created by the moon. The earth breathes with her own light and her own energy. She does not need the power of the moon to move waves. And everything we've been taught about NASA is a lie. And that the construct of the universe, or one voice, is us. We are the purveyors of power in this world through our voice. There is no other being on this planet or this plane that can make the sound frequencies that a human can. A human can mimic literally anything in existence, even the trees, the whispering of the trees and the wind through the leaves. We can literally do this, and that is the most powerful thing that any one being can have. But as in all things in this existence, we have these opposing forces, and they exist everywhere in our world, in our bodies and in our lives. And then, throughout the dawn of time, these things have been here. The darkness and the light are eternal. As long as you have light, you will have darkness, because it will cast shadows in many ways. But there can only be one substance from all of this. And that one substance is the cosmic substance of light. It is a sound frequency, though, and it comes from the one. But you will not start to comprehend this until you really start diving into all of this amazing information that will bring us back home to our knowing of who we truly are, instead of searching so desperately for things outside of ourselves, like we see in the world right now. Everyone's looking for something outside of themselves, when truly all we need to do is go within to find answers and the truth that is waiting for us. And nature is waiting for us. So I have been learning about alchemy, and of course it's circling me back around to finding out more about biodynamic farming, because nature has been one of my main concerns. As I look upon nature and see its plight, because we have turned our backs on her, she is dying, and therefore we are dying. And until we realize our connectedness with nature, to turn back to her and to love her and care for her and nurture her just as she does us, we will lose the battle. We can't afford to do that. If we truly wish to be in this existence, even though it is a holographic experience, if we truly wish to be a part of this world and this construct, we need to look to nature for all the answers we ever sought. Because in her teachings, we can find literally everything, the answer to every problem in her wisdom. Her elements are air and fire above the land. And then the yin elements are the earth and water, which are the dark elements. They are the negative aspect. They are actually considered electrons, which are the negative polarity, and the protons are actually the ones that are above the soil, and they are the ones that have the positive energy or fire energy. The fire and air are one, being spirit. And what is happening out here in the world is they are using more of that yang frequency in the skies above our head, spraying in the chemtrails. And they are using the shapes of cell towers as pyramid shapes with triangles to build the network frame to hold the towers up. And then they are using the metals that are of a yang frequency. They are positive in their proton nature. And it is amplifying that even more. And it is raining fire literally down onto the earth and into the soil to then negate the forces of yin. And it is sinking deep into the soil, and it is killing and harming the biology of the soil, which is then turning the trees into desolation with the fungus and everything. So the answers are to turn towards biodynamic farming because it uses the alchemy in very, very powerful ways. So powerful that a small amount, a very, very small amount of this substance that is put into a liquid, basically water, and then you stir it clockwise and counterclockwise continually for a certain number of times, and some of them are 20 minutes and some are for over an hour or about an hour. And then you put this substance into a sprayer, like a backpack sprayer, and you spritz a very small amount onto the top of the soil and till it in. This powerful substance will rejuvenate the soil overnight, basically. It will do so much good for the world that I wanted to start talking about how powerful this can be for us. It uses the star energy and the principles of elements to bring about change in this world in a beneficial way. So Rudolf Steiner was the one who actually taught biodynamic farming. And Rudolf Steiner has a lot of lectures that you can listen to online about spirituality and ascension and all of these things that a lot of people are looking for. But it's more practical and it's not airy-fairy. And this is why I say this is authentic. When you can listen to someone and their own experiences and their own wisdom and knowledge from the practices that they have taught and actually done on their own. That's the wisdom that we need today, not the airy-fairy comments of cyborg machines telling us about 5D ascension and all of this. That's the nonsense that they're going to perpetuate to people, you know, to try to give them some sort of fodder to feed on when they don't know themselves fully. We must know who we truly are and where we're going and where we've been. So the practical applications of the philosophers of old are the ones we should be turning to this day. Some of those philosophers are Plato, Ptolemy, Pythagoras. You can listen to Dante's Divine Comedy and this Rudolf Steiner and many other very wise souls who tried to give us something of value to chew on instead of this stuff that they're trying to perpetuate online and what people are running around chasing today. It makes people feel good, and that's okay. But we must remain grounded in all of our research and all of the value that's out here for us to find. These are the things, the pearls of old are the ones with real value. Instead of trying to grasp at straws of the future, we need to know what has worked in the past, and let's fully plant our feet in that knowledge. So as I learn more about biodynamics, I will be sharing this on my channel because I see the value in it. And it's very important for us to know the alchemy of our world and how we can use what has been deemed magic to bring about the positive changes again. Because even in the yin and yang, you can see the white and dark magic. It was never magic. They only created a term for people to fear by labeling it something and then scaring people with the word. It is our innate wisdom inside of our bodies and inside of our spirit. It is our spirit that can work with the powers of the tetragrammaton to therefore create change in this tetragrammaton field of energy. It is the flower of life energy. It touches us and it connects us to all things in our existence. So time does not exist, but we can affect this field of energy because it is us. It runs through us and all things. So I will be giving a presentation on how all of this connects. I feel like it has a lot of value and it will explain many things for people. And I just wanted to show some of these things of which I will be speaking about, just to give y'all a small sampling of the value of all of this. Because this is not magic. What it's doing is using these shapes, these star tetrahedron forms that are found in the tetragrammaton. It's using the hexagon and the pentagram and all of the sacred geometries, all of them, every single one of them it uses. And they form patterns and they interlock with all of the four elements in different ways, and it can create, and our minds can actually manipulate this field of energy if we focus, if we learn hermetics, if we learn the foundations that were lost to us but have been used by these dark powers who have been ruling over us for so long. We must see this. This is the lost aspect of our world and ourselves, and we can make big changes once we all align our minds in the same direction. This is the power of the universe, or one voice. Once we gain the wisdom of our one voice together in unison, we can then change the world in such dynamic ways you will never even believe the possibilities. It shall be no less than amazing. But we've got a long way to go, and we've got a lot of work to do. So with that, I will bid you a good evening, and thank you for watching my video. See you next time.